interviews tried to address the white nationalists and the racists and all that stuff, and I said, I don't see any race here, do you?
This is what we're all about. It's not about racism. It's not about division. It's actually about unity. It's a place for dialogue, and the issues might be slightly different, varying place to place, but it's all about corrupt government, and that's the end of the story. Hello everybody, welcome to the Yellow Vest Show, episode 8. We are back from Ottawa, we're back in Toronto, and the convoy trip was amazing. Oh, I got Colleen on the phone here. Hello Colleen.
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing good, good. You were at the Ottawa trip. Wasn't that awesome?
Oh, yes, wouldn't miss it.
Tell us about it, how much fun it was.
I have to say, I would have been ecstatic if we could have had millions of people on Parliament Hill. Honestly, totally could have covered it all. That would have been brilliant. But I honestly think that for our first efforts, I thought it was fabulous. I thought that the United We Roll was a good compromise. I thought that Glenn Garrett's team did a great job under tremendous pressure in a very short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ottawa group was Ron Barr and Stephanie, and they were incredibly helpful. They were amazing, and they also had to work in an incredibly short timeline, and they pulled it together, and with all the blogging and all the patriots helping out and getting the word out, because, as you know, mainstream news completely ignored the whole thing. So the only way everybody even found out about it was because everybody started passing out the word and sharing it on social media and talking to their friends and bringing it up at their rallies every Saturdays. That's how the word got out, and I thought it was fabulous. Really, I was so impressed.
Yeah.
I was so impressed and proud. Oh my God, proud. I loved hearing all those trucks just blaring. You should have heard it on the Tuesday. Blaring. There's nobody downtown that would not have heard it, and I'm sure nobody could get any work done.
Yeah. And today I was reading the media.
It's great, right?
Yeah, there was an article by CBC today, and all they were saying was very they were scaling it down so much, saying that the event was just quite they were presenting it as if it was a failure, and only about 50 people were there at the end of it. And just a bunch of people, and they wound up early and stuff like that. Oh my God, did you see that?
Oh yeah, there was no reason for all the MSM smear, except for the fact that we must be doing something right if they really want to shut us down this easy. And you know what? You mentioned Glenn; he did a great job. I can't thank the organizers enough. And you know what, Colleen? I had a great time there, and it was so great to meet you in person too. It was such a good trip. It was a great trip.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I also wanted to do a shout out to? I wanted to do a shout out to all the thousands and thousands and thousands of people along the way there and back who stood out in minus 20 and minus 30 degree weather
Exactly.
for hours, waiting for a chance just to watch, to cheer, to wave their flag, to flash their yellow vests. It was bloody brilliant. And when the trucks stopped, originally, I'll tell you, they were going to be in even a bit earlier than what they were, but they ended up taking a lot longer time. Do you know why? There were so many people that wanted to be there, wanted to talk to them. So when they pulled in to get gas or to get some food or whatever, they were mobbed not in a bad way, but mobbed
in a good way,
loving way. Everybody wanted to talk to them. I think almost every stop, "O Canada" was sung. It was spontaneous. People were so proud, so patriotic, so united, which is the whole purpose of the unity movement. In fact, the Yellow Vest movement is a unity-based movement. The convoy is unity-based movement, and obviously, the United Yellow Vest movement is also a united movement. So we are all sharing the same agenda. And as I had said in my interviews, we don't all have to be yellow vests. there were people that weren't yellow vests, although obviously predominantly. When you look at all the pictures and all the video, you're going to see a huge predominance of yellow vests, like probably 90%. But that doesn't mean that there weren't plenty of patriotic people who were just there supporting the cause. It was just, there was such a sea of yellow vests that it really stood out dramatically in the films. But, you know, to see so many people coming together and the joy, people were crying, people, complete strangers, hugging and carrying on. It was a beautiful, loving moment that all of Canada got to share. It was, I mean, hard to explain in words. You had to be there. We actually drove in early. Well, we didn't. We drove in and then we diverted to meet them at the truck stop in our prior to showing up on Parliament Hill on the Tuesday. And we got there, it was everybody, you know, a lot of people were already gone. But, you know, while we were standing there, somebody just started singing "O Canada." Everybody stopped. Everybody sang, hearts on, you know, hands on heart. My hat's off. It was bloody cold. I'll tell you, I didn't take my hat off. But, you know, and at the end, all the truckers let their horns blare. I mean, you just don't get a chance to do that anymore. Trudeau has really tried to convince Canada and Canadians that we have no culture, that we're post-NATO, that we have no patriotism. I'm telling you, this unity rally showed we are patriotic. We are united, and their games and their tricks and their nonsense has not worked to divide us, because everybody was just glorified in the chance to come together and show how much we love each other. It was beautiful, and that's why they're dismissing it, and that's why they're trying so hard to delegitimize it. So you know what I say? Kudos to everybody, because we are obviously on track with what the people want. The hell, sorry, you're not so. Too bad. Correct myself. Too bad for Trudeau and his minions and his paid mainstream news. You know, they did not succeed in their goal, and they did try. We were here for a couple of days before the actual Ottawa rally, and I'm going to tell you how much news coverage there was locally. About 30 seconds per morning segment and 30 seconds in the evening. So approximately 1 minute of coverage, and I would say 99% of it negative. It was those right-wing extremist agitators from Alberta, you know, and the yellow vests, and of course the yellow vests were all, the rant. Trump does it so well, you know, racist, xenophobic, homophobic. He has this beautiful rant that he does. Of course, that's what we all are, you know. And they tried to paint us as anti-immigrant, and that really blew up in their faces when we had people that were immigrants, legal immigrants up there speaking, and people of color and people of different races and different religions. It really blew their narrative out of the water, and that's why they had to pivot to try to attack Glenn Garrett's good name about the GoFundMe fund, which of course hasn't been released yet. They're not even back to Alberta yet. So it's hilarious that they're trying to delegitimize that now.
Colleen, that's just an internal thing. That's just a very, very small internal thing between within the United We Roll convoy. The Glenn GoFundMe thing, it's just so minor and so internal, and it's nothing at all. It's just a little procedural thing that is within the group, and it's already settled out, and now they are trying to bloat it out with such magnification that, you know.
That's because that's all they have.
Yeah, exactly.
They tried to paint the yellow vest as racist and anti-immigrant, but when they looked at all the footage, they couldn't find anything.
Exactly.
And they talked to the people, so they interviewed people, and they couldn't find any racist, anti-immigrant rants. And when they looked at all the posters and the handmade signs, they couldn't find anything. Do you know, I was interviewed on the Wednesday by five major mainstream news media. 5. Not one of those interviews aired. Do you know why?
Oh my, look at that. Look at them. Look at the mainstream media talking about Canadians. And when Canadians are speaking out, they just put them down. Don't even broadcast what they interviewed.
They wanted the yellow vest to come out with some sort of hate speech or some sort of racist rant of some
and then they would project
kind,
that again and again and again.
That from anybody.
So sorry they didn't get any of that there.
The interviews could say it didn't go to their narrative, so they had to dismiss it or just not play it, and they literally didn't play it. Literally, because none of them aired. I watched. None of them aired. So.
Yeah,
it didn't fall into their narrative. It's just what they're doing with Trump down in the States. Trump, I laugh when people dismiss President Trump because you know what? President Trump is actually the original yellow vester. All yellow vesters all around the world should be looking at him with admiration because you look at his policies, you look at his agenda, and it is a yellow vest agenda.
Exactly.
So he was the first.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
Oh,
Even before France.
I would definitely say that
France is amazing, but
I would definitely say that Canada has never had in a long time, not in my lifetime, I'm 32 years old, I've never seen Canada come together coast to coast like this, besides the Olympics, let's say. That's about it. And it was such a great show up. The whole country came together. Ottawa was something else. It was a great thing. I saw people hugging. I got to meet all the top organizers and great people. Everybody was just loving and really caring, They really did care.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, it was lovely for me, too, because I speak to people all over Canada on the phone or on, Facebook or on ybclive.ca, but I don't, get to see them, like meet them. So it was lovely for me as well to have that opportunity. And I think I hope, I really hope it was nice for people to have an opportunity to get to meet me and see me and talk to me and get a sense about, what I'm about and what the movement's about and what all of the plans are, all the wonderful people. Because there's many leaders. So, people keep asking, and there isn't really a leader because people are the leader. It's the people driving the agenda. But the people that are representing some of that agenda are really strong leaders in different groups within Canada. I'm speaking of Canada right now. And, we all are united in what we are doing. And that is the agenda that we've all agreed to, in terms of uniting so that the movement can move forward and accomplish our goals, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think a lot of people think it's just, we're just going to go out on every Saturday. So I'm sure everybody knows every Saturday there's a rally. And, ideally you put on your yellow vest or not. And you go out and you wave your flags and you have your signs and you stand there for Canada. You're standing there for Canada. You're standing there for your children. You're standing there for our future. And then, but there's a bigger picture that people are probably not quite aware of. And the bigger picture is that all the leaders of the different groups, so there's many groups under the the VY banner, but we all agree to the key 4 points. And the key 4 points are no UN, that's unanimous. And you guys know that you were part of those meetings.
Yeah.
No UN Migration Pact, absolutely. Definitely, that's a big no. The second point is self-sufficiency, using Canada's resources for Canada, so a Canada First agenda. That should sound familiar to anybody that follows President Trump.
Yes.
And obviously that translates into no carbon tax. I mean, that's a given.
Mm-hmm.
The third thing is free speech and censorship, and we all can speak to that. We've all been censored, whether that's Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, it doesn't matter. There's all kinds of shenanigans going on there about censoring. And then the fourth thing is the obvious thing, which was we are a peaceful movement, and they tried so hard to find evidence that we weren't, but what did they find? They found people loving it and standing there in the freezing cold, waving their flags and waving their signs and hugging and kissing. And, people came out, they made those truckers. They made them homemade fritters. They made them homemade donuts. Mm-hmm. They brought them barbecue dinners. I mean, Don't tell me that Canadians are racist or homophobic or any of those things.
They did find some evidence of white nationalism in the movement, and that was a person like me standing there, white nationalist, being part of the movement and raising white nationalist slogans all the time. Yeah, look at me here, making a mess in the whole movement and supporting all the white nationalism and all the racism all around.
Oh, and it's hilarious because did they talk to any of you guys? No.
Yeah. No, they should have actually interviewed me had they been. Yeah, I'm not saying just for my sake or something. Not at all. It's just that they can actually pick me up and say, "Hello, Kulbir, how are you amongst these white nationalist people?"
They didn't want to go there. That's why.
Great for your very life,
Actually, I won't say that media. They actually came for a little write-up of an article. It wasn't a TV interview, it was just a little write-up that they had to do further on, and they took my views. They said, Faith Goldie is part of the movement. How do you take her? She's a white nationalist and so on. I just busted them all out. I said she's a Canadian. She's working for Canadian issues. If that seems white nationalist thing to you, so be it. I don't care. It's all these your pseudo narratives are just so superfluous and infringing on Canadian prosperity. And I try to bust it all. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they tried when they were, when each of the interviews, except for one, each of the interviews tried to address the white nationalists and the racists and all that stuff. And I said, I don't see any race here. Do you?
Yeah.
I don't see a race. I said,
Nice.
I don't identify myself as a white Christian heterosexual Canadian.
Yeah, we don't care.
I don't identify. I said, I don't care. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your race is. I don't care what your sexual preferences are. I mean, I think, this identity politics, I'm really hoping this is going to be the end of that nonsense. Because that's how the Liberals have kept us divided for the last 46, 50 odd years. That's how they've done it. They've divided us into enclaves and had us at each other's throats so we couldn't unite, so that we wouldn't unite. And this Yellow Vest movement is busting that out of the water. Because I'm going to bet right here and now on your show that our numbers are going to be dramatically up. I'll bet you there's going to be a lot more people at our rallies. I'll bet you if they are doing another convoy, which there is some talk, absolutely not confirmed in any way. I mean, they're not even back yet, but there's been some speculation that there's a possibility.
No.
I'll bet you if they do, I'll bet you that will blow this one out of the water in terms of participation, both with the convoy truckers and with the people that come, because the news media will not be able to stop the stream of information on this one. They will not.
I really hope that's going to happen.
Looking forward for the second convoy. Guys, I'm hearing second convoy, Glenn and Mark and whoever are in charge, get going on the second one now, please. Yeah, we're looking forward for it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, Ron Barr, he really knocked it out of the park here in Ottawa, because one of the things that people might not be aware of. See, when you're doing something as momentous as this, so this is not detracting at all from the amazing work that Glenn and his team did. Mm-hmm. But when you're just driving into, a small town like Arm Pryor, and you're going to be at the Antrim truck stop, and you're going to be there, you don't need any big fancy permits. You don't need anything like that.
Yeah.
You're on the road, you've got your driver's license or whatever, that's it, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going to take a massive convoy like that into Ottawa, the nation's capital, and shut down downtown, shut it down, and take over Parliament Hill, with the grounds, obviously not, the building itself, that requires an immense amount of permits. That's city police, OPP, RCMP, CSIS, and the Parliamentary Security Police. And that doesn't even address the transportation hub that has to be done. So to have all of those streets closed down for 5 or 6 hours in the middle of the workday, 2 days in a row, the amount of work, permits, and costs that involves for Ron and his team is quite a dramatic amount of work and time and effort and money. So it isn't just as simple as just pulling up some trucks and and honking your horns all day. It required a huge amount of work and effort. And really, I want to make sure that there's a huge shout out to all the amazing work that he did, because that was something. And he was under the same time crunch as Glenn and his team. It was really unfortunate that's the way it played out. But look at how amazing they did with the challenges that they had. I think they did amazing work, and I can't wait. If they do it again, I think it's going to be just blowing it out of the water. I mean, it should be just astounding. Can you imagine this on a bigger scale?
Yeah.
Especially if we could get even more regions of the country involved. Can you imagine how beautiful a site that will be? I really hope it might be, and we'll have to see how it plays out. But I'm all in. If they're going to do it, boy howdy, I'm in all the way.
Yeah.
I'll throw all of my resources and all of my groups and influence and the YVClive.ca website behind them, and we'll blog it out all over the world, just like we did this time.
Yeah, you had the convoy tracker. Yeah, the convoy tracker on YVClive.ca. Tell us how that website's doing right now.
Oh my God, it's doing so well, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm trying to think now. It's just over a month old. We have over 5,500 likes.
Wow.
Our reach is, I think, over 51 countries. 13,000 people on the average per week come on our site. I mean, it's
New visitors.
phenomenal. It has its own social media platform, very much like Facebook. And the beauty of our site, and I do mean the beauty, anybody that's dealing with Facebook will totally relate to what I'm about to say. There's no shutdowns, no restrictions, no blocks, no bans, because if you're following the group rules, so of course there's group posting rules, of course, but if you're following that, it's a free speech platform.
Mm-hmm.
This is not anything more than a free speech platform. There are rules. Anybody that's not following the rules is going to be gone, just like they are in our groups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I run a tight ship, and all the other groups, as far as I know, are running tight ships. So, there are issues, and we're working on them, and as we find the problems, we deal with the problems. But, it's a beautiful site. That website is tremendous. We have the convoy tracker, which is still working because they're on their way back. We have all the latest news on the convoy. We have all the pictures and the videos on the convoy. We have live streaming voice messages that people can leave for the convoy, so you can leave your message, and the convoy people can listen to those messages and hear ordinary citizens that maybe didn't get a chance to talk to them from all over the country, or even potentially all over the world, although I don't think that happens, but the possibility is there.
Right.
I mean, there's tremendous things. The GoFundMe page, the verified one, the link is there. We have merchandising available.
You're forgetting the Yellow Vest show is also on YVClive.ca.
We have anything Yellow Vest. The YVC show is on there. We have some other bloggers on there, and I had a chance to meet some. So I got to meet Wayne. I got to meet Chance Turcotte. I got to meet some people, and I reminded them to upload their videos to us so that we could put that on there. I mean, anything that is Yellow Vest is very welcome. And that's from anywhere in the world, obviously nationally, but globally as well.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that is about a unity message is also welcomed. So I want to encourage the other patriot groups that can follow with our agenda of our 4 key things that we highlighted at the beginning of the show, are completely welcomed and encouraged to join us and on our website and in our messaging. And anything else that's also just unifying in nature. So you don't have to necessarily be, with a patriotic slant. You don't necessarily have to be with a Yellow Vest slant. But if it's anything unity-based, that's nationally especially, absolutely, you are welcome to join us. And our criteria is that it's unifying in nature and on an ideal basis, at least patriotic. But even that isn't, strictly speaking, necessary, as long as it's a unified nature.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's very exciting, and we can expand our reach and unify and get even more boots in the ground and get even more people involved and, kind of unified in terms of being a wedge, politically speaking, because if we have the numbers, then we can start to make a real difference.
I definitely love the website. That is a huge part of the movement, I believe. yvclive.ca. Check it out. Spread that link on Facebook. Spread it in the Messenger. Spread it in groups. It's a great website. Colleen, thank you so much for this call in, and it was great to meet you in Ottawa. I had such a good time.
Colleen, thank you very much.
Oh,
It was
so nice to meet you guys.
very nice to meet you in Ottawa.
I really enjoyed coming on your show. I really appreciate all the support. I think you guys do a tremendous job. And I'd like to do a shout out for their show. They have their show on our website. And I encourage you guys to take the time and listen to their videos and help share them out, because Facebook is totally censoring anything that is yellow vest. So we depend on our patriots and our members and our supporters to help get the messaging out, because they're restricting all the stream in terms of getting the messaging out. So let's remember to support those that support us, guys, because we're all in this together, united together.
Yep, absolutely. They are censoring this show as much as they can. So if you can, share this video in groups, Messenger. And Colleen, your website's going to help out with that censorship. Thanks again so much for being on the show, okay? We're gonna talk
Wonderful.
real soon.
Thank you.
All right, so our next caller of the day, we have Tracy L. from Ontario. How are you, Tracy?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
We're doing great.
Welcome to the show, Tracy.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Tracy, what do you have to say about the Yellow Vest movement in and around London?
Well, we are very young in London,
Yeah.
and we are growing.
Yeah.
Awareness is happening.
Yes. Yes, go on.
There's not a whole lot to say about London.
Trudeau knows the rest.
All right, so why did you join the Yellow Vest in the first place? What do you want to accomplish out of this movement?
My whole life, I've loved children, and I'm actually a nanny now. And I see what is happening to our children and the threat that is upon our children with the government. So that's what has motivated me to get involved in the Yellow Vest. Mainly, my number one reason is to protect our future, our children and our grandchildren. Also, I stand for everything that our veterans fought at war for Canada and what they died for.
Right. Yeah.
I believe those values and those rights that they gave us should be honored and protected, and they are being taken away.
Correct. This is profound and this is so heart-touching. Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, why don't you tell us, actually tell the viewers, someone that's watching right now that's curious about the movement, what would you like to say to them? What's a message that you'd say to somebody that's viewing that is tuning in for the first time, they don't know what we're about, a message for them? Be it about the mainstream media, what they're lying to us. Talk to the camera right now. Tell them what you would say to someone that's viewing right now.
I am urging everybody to please open their eyes and their ears to what is happening in the world and in our country. We do not spread lies. We are out there to protect all of you, your lives, and the future of our country. If you want a future for your children, for your country, please open your eyes and your ears to what we are warning you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Correct. Yeah.
It's gotten very serious, the level of corruption in government. In my opinion, I don't think that they're spending the money, the taxation that we get wisely. I think there's a bunch of reasons that we're uniting as a country. Actually, the world individually is uniting. Let's say it's a global movement against globalism.
Yeah. It's either awakening or uniting.
Yeah.
At least, even if it's awakening, that's good enough.
Yeah, at least it's
See,
at the
others
very
awaken.
least it's an awakening of the globalism that's happening around our world, and each country is fed up with the amount of laws and rules and regulations that are hindering our progress as humanity. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Very nicely put,
totally
Kat.
agree
Very
with
nicely.
it. And that is one thing the media is withholding from everybody, is how many countries are actually wearing a yellow vest. A lot of people I talk to are not even aware of France's yellow vest.
Mm.
And it's literally almost a war over there.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
people don't even know about it. So the media does withhold truth, and they distract you with just silly stuff. You know, like how silly saying maybe Donald Trump talked one day in his speech, you know, like, so that our attention is taken off of our little puppet running our country. We don't realize what he's doing because our eyes are looking at Donald Trump or an actor in Hollywood, you know, their scandal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm not even aware of the exact number of countries that have yellow vests now. Do you gentlemen know how many countries are involved now?
The last number that I heard officially was 31 countries they're actively protesting with yellow vests on.
31 countries in the world. That should be setting off a lot of alarms and raising a lot of red flags. Something is going on in the world. And like you said, what could it be? The UN.
Absolutely. The global government, the threat to humanity.
Why would a country give up all their rights and hand them over to a globalist government?
It's beyond me.
Yeah.
I'm totally with
Absolutely.
you. That's actually a great message to say to a curious viewer. This is what we're all about. It's not about racism. It's not about division. It's actually about unity. It's a place for dialogue, and the issues might be slightly different, varying place to place, but it's all about corrupt government, and that's the end of the story.
Absolutely.
hmm I'm with you, Tracy. So,
Thank you.
is there anything else you'd like to add, Tracy? Thank you so much for being here on the show.
Thank you for having me. I feel honored that you asked me to join.
Oh, well, you've been a part of this movement for a long time now, so I really do appreciate your call and letting us know your feelings.
Keep it up,
Thank you
Tracy.
so much.
The movement in London, the movement in Canada.
Yeah,
keep it up. And keep us inspired. Keep pushing us as well. We need the inspiration at times. And so that,
Absolutely. Keep up the good fight. It's
Yeah.
worth the cause.
right.
Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
All right, thanks again.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Tracy.
gentlemen, and you have a nice evening.
You too.
you
Have
too
a
as
great
well.
night.
Thank you. Look forward
Okay,
to speaking to
good
you
night.
again. Yeah, thanks.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
good night.